The war in Ukraine deepened on Tuesday, the 13th day of Russia's invasion, with forces intensifying their shelling. It's taking heavy toll on the lives of civilians. They desperately need to evacuate to safety. Our Ji-yeon is standing by on the line for us. Ji-yeon, Ukraine reportedly rejected Moscow's offer to create humanitarian corridors. Can you tell us more about this?
Sure, Daniel. The corridors that you've just mentioned that would allow civilians to flee heavily bombed cities following a temporary ceasefire are reportedly open now, allowing civilians from Ukrainian cities of Sumy and Irpin to leave through these corridors. Earlier, the Ukrainian side had turned down Russia's offer to these corridors before a third round of peace talks were held between the two countries on Monday. And Kyiv's main reason is upon realization that most of the supposedly safe routes offered by the Kremlin led directly to Russia or its ally, Belarus. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky dismissed allegations that he had fled the country, reaffirming Tuesday that he's holding ground, staying in Kyiv via a telegram video which was taken at his presidential office.
I stay here in Kyiv, on Bankova, not hiding, and I am not afraid of anyone, as long as it's needed to win this war, our national war.
The UK Speaker of the House of Commons has announced that President Zelensky is slated to address British members of Parliament Tuesday, 5 p.m. GMT via video link.
The devastation so far is unthinkable. Safety of civilians should be one of the most important factors to consider.
That's right, Daniel. According to the United Nations, more than 2 million refugees have fled Ukraine to neighboring countries like Poland. Poland says 100 people have been crossing into its country every minute, in which it says it's reaching breaking point in accepting these refugees, some of them fleeing the war on foot. You can see families with children in strollers clutching stuffed toys, young mothers with babies in their arms, and the elderly moving, as fast as they can. And Irpin is one of the cities in which families had tried to flee from heavy Russian shelling and airstrikes. Witnesses say they felt the death of a city as somber silence masked the urgency, shock, and panic of those fleeing from the unthinkable violence that has shook ordinary people's lives and their livelihoods. Some are still trapped in these cities under siege from Russian forces.
There was heavy shelling. They fired at houses, people. A woman and a 13-year-old child died. All houses were shelled. A few people left here. It is hard and scary. It is a war. It is fascism. It is genocide against the whole Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.
These heavy toll on civilians is pressuring the United States and NATO to do more to curb brutal violence. According to The Hill, the U.S. maintains a stance of rejecting implementing a no-fly zone over Ukraine, which essentially means it would be able to shoot down Russian aircraft in Ukrainian airspace. And this move would counter the U.S.'s top priority in this conflict, which is, according to State Secretary Anthony Blinken in an interview with NBC on Sunday, is for the U.S. to evade direct military confrontation with Russian forces. At a press conference in Latvia held earlier today, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg acknowledged there were credible reports that Russian forces were targeting civilians in Ukraine, which is considered as war crimes. Back to you.
All right, thank you for those updates, Ji-yeon.